Joe Biden is having some real problems with his speeches, and he called President Trump President Hump, and these things, which, you can, when somebody is speaking as much as Joe Biden is, you can understand things like that, but something else is happening, and I want you to listen, but I want you to listen with this ear. He has had 2 aneurysms now. And the last one, they had to take part of his head off and actually stop the aneurysm and take it out. Now, that second aneurysm that he had, they said for a while that they didn't think he would be able to speak again because it was happening in one of his speech centers. My daughter had strokes, and she has a hard time with speech, and she has a really hard time understanding speech that is coming in and processing it, and understanding and trying to find the right word retrieval. She has a hard time with that. And so sometimes she will hem and haw. She'll be like, and she can't find the right word. This is what's happening to Joe Biden. With an aneurysm like he had, and the doctor saying that he may not be able to have word retrieval, he's experiencing a modern day medical miracle, but that's what's happening. So all this talk about him going senile or whatever, no. He has had 2 aneurysms. And, that doesn't make me comfortable, but that's what's happening. And I want you to listen now to him as he's fighting to find the right words. This is from this weekend.
We cannot, and I will not, let this man be reelected president of the United States of America.
I want you to listen to his pronunciation of some words as well.
Limit to 4 years. I believe history will look back in this presidency as an aberrant moment in time. But if Donald Trump is reelected, Freudian slip. If Donald Trump is reelected, he will forever and fundamentally alter the character of this nation. Donald Trump does pose an extra threat to this. It's not hypothetical. His threat to this nation.
He doesn't even go back to it.
He does pose a real threat. Wow. The core values of this nation, our standing in the world, our very democracy. Everything that's made America's at stake, and everyone knows who Donald Trump is.
Hear the slight slur.
Now we have to show them who we are. That we choose hope over fear. We choose science over fiction. We choose unity over division. And yes, we choose truth over lies.
He just said we choose.
Folks, I've never been more optimistic about America's chances than I am today. We're better positioned than any nation in the world to lead the 21st century. We have the world's most powerful economy. We have the greatest research university in the world, more than all the rest of the world combined. We find ourselves with a workforce that's 3 times as productive as workers in Asia. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get the hell up. It's time to stop walking around with our heads down. This is the United States of America. We can do anything at all we set our mind to.
Stop. Okay. So I wanted you to hear that whole speech for a couple of reasons. One, to hear how it is affecting him. Now, this isn't the first time we've had a president try to do this. The last president we had do this was Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson was in exactly the same situation, and he decided to push forward, and he went on a tour to get the League of Nations done. And he was giving a speech. He was doing a whistle stop on train, going from city to city, giving the speech. Nobody wanted to hear his speech on, a new world order, but he was determined to give it anyway. And he had an aneurysm or a stroke while speaking. And for a few minutes, he wasn't making any sense at all. And then he tried to continue with the speech, and they took him off stage, put him in the train, rushed him back to Washington, D.C. His doctors were with him. He had a stroke, and he was incapacitated for the rest of his term. and his wife actually signed all of the documents. His wife was really our first woman president. So it has happened before. And it is arrogance in Woodrow Wilson's case that's doing this. I don't know. I don't think Joe Biden wants this. I just have a feeling he just doesn't want this.
Doesn't want what?
The presidency.
He has a very strange way of showing that.
I know that, but I just don't think he does.
What do you mean he doesn't want the president? I mean, he could have not run.
Yeah, he could
he's
have.
leading. He could drop out. Why? What do you mean he doesn't want it?
I think he's to the age, and I think he has had, an aneurysm where he's like, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of stuff. I mean, I could die in office. I might want to rather be with my family. Why would I take on this headache? Literally. This is my feeling, and I could be wrong. He might want this more than anything in life, but it's not 2016.
Yeah, I mean, you could make this argument, I think, well in 2016, right? This is what he kind of said. He wanted to be with his family. They were in the time of mourning. That's why he didn't run.
Right.
And, he probably would have, he had a really good chance of beating Hillary. Probably. Beats Hillary.
Yeah, I think he would have.
2016.
I think he would have.
If he actually runs.
Right.
But in I think there's a lot of people around him who made those arguments to him. I mean, it's been reported that he basically said, look, it's too important. I need to be there. I need to be there in this time.
That doesn't mean that he wants it. That could be that maybe he feels like I have to be there. Otherwise, we have a socialist or we have Donald Trump. That may be. I'm not sure. But I just don't think he's going to I just don't think he's the guy for the job at this moment in time.
I mean, he tried to do a 4-syllable word in there, and there was about 6 syllables in it, and about 4 of them were not syllables that were normally in the word.
Yeah.
And that's not a
and you
normal
can hear him.
flub.
He is searching for words, and he is trying really hard.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that he's senile or he can't be president, but we should at least address that and talk about that. That's what's happening with Joe Biden and his language. That's what's happening. Everybody made this big deal out of the cough. I heard the cough. It doesn't sound healthy, but I don't know what that is. He should release his medical records. He's the oldest guy that would be president if he won. I don't think he's even going to win the primary. Now, let me switch gears here. What he said is the reason why he has a chance of winning. It is very much like the Tulsi Gabbard. If he was young and vital, he might have a chance of winning, but he is not. But what he is saying is the message that it connects with people, and listen to the message. It is the opposite of everything Bernie Sanders is saying, everything that Elizabeth Warren is saying, everything that everyone on the left is saying. He's saying, geez, we're the United States of America. It's time to lift our heads up. It's time to stop feeling sorry for ourselves, and we can just set our minds to do what we have to do. That is a winning message. It's not a winning message with the left. And it is the winning message that actually people on the liberal side, the Democrats that are not lefties, heard from Donald Trump. They were tired of being kicked in the face and told they're horrible. That's what Joe Biden is trying to say here. And it is a winning message. And the Republicans should be listening to that. That is the clear, easy message